Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're a fan of King Von. Now, this has actually been one of the most requested videos that I have gotten, and I didn't want to make it within the first week of the King Von incident happening for pretty obvious reasons. But by now, everybody honestly knows what really happened on that night that King Von passed. But there is actually one person in particular who does believe it happened a different way. Now, this was King Von's ex-girlfriend, Asian Doll, who is also another rapper in the industry. Now, Asian Doll has obviously been going through lots ever since King Von's passing. They did actually have a real relationship for quite some time, but from what I have been reading online getting research for this video, they actually broke up just a few months ago. So it still doesn't mean, that this didn't affect her any less, that they weren't together. They obviously probably still had lots of love for each other. But I'm about to share the exclusive words from King Von's ex-girlfriend on how she believes the incident actually happened, then compare it to what his manager said, who was actually standing beside King Von when this all went down. Like, you can actually see him in the surveillance footage. So make sure you guys watch this video all the way until the end, because trust me, this is one you're gonna want to hear. Also, if you would like to join the channel's giveaway on any of the items you see on screen, leave a like on the video and then subscribe to the channel if you want to enter. Now, Asian Doll did have a much different approach to dealing with the King Von incident than what a lot of people probably would have thought. And obviously, she was going through a lot at the time, and obviously, she was still in love with him and things like that. So it is, to be expected, and I just wanted to point that out before I go into what she said. So King Von's manager actually really didn't appreciate some of these things that she was saying on Twitter, as she wasn't actually even there on the night it happened, as his manager actually was there. King Von's manager was actually standing right beside King Von when it all happened. So he's honestly got a lot more information than she would, but she also did start going off on Twitter when the situation happened, and she started going off on King Von's manager, started making tweets about his boys from O Block, all kinds of tweets and things like that. So make sure you guys continue watching, as I'm about to share all of them. Now, one of the most important tweets that she actually ended up making right after the situation happened was this, and I quote, "Von's last words was, 'Y'all let them get up on me. Stop crying, y'all. Let them get me.'" Now, this is a very, very important tweet, and I even have it on the screen so then you guys know it's like legit and everything like that. But this is actually the tweet that pretty much sparked everything. Now, due to this tweet, it made a lot of King Von's boys from O Block seem like they turned their backs on King Von during the situation on that day, and same with his manager as well. But the tweet is simply untrue, and it kind of looks very bad for Asian Doll, as King Von's manager actually ended up doing an exclusive interview with DJ Akademiks and gave out tons of reasons and points as to why this is not true at all, and this was not King Von's last words. So it kind of makes Asian Doll look, pretty bad in this situation by assuming that this was King Von's last words. And something that King Von's manager also mentioned during his interview was that she actually wasn't even invited to the album celebration party that King Von held just hours before this incident happened. What a lot of you guys actually are unaware of, before King Von ended up going to that second club to, meet Quando Rondo and the entire situation went down, he was actually at a different location celebrating his album release party for Welcome to O Block. Now, Asian Doll got this information that those were his apparent last words from like one of those psychic reader people. I honestly don't know the name of them, but that is where she got this from, as that is what King Von's manager said during the interview. But he also said something else that he just couldn't stress enough, and he wanted to make sure all King Von fans knew. And I'm about to share it with you guys right now, so make sure you guys continue watching this video, as King Von's manager does want all of his fans to know what I'm about to say. Now, King Von's manager did want to make it very, very clear that in her tweet when she said, "Y'all let them get up on me," that it is not true by any means. And what actually happened that night was that all of King Von's boys were actually just expecting to just go into the club that night and just celebrate the new album, Welcome to O-Block, that was just released, which does mean they left all of their protective items in their cars, which is why they actually couldn't help King Von in the situation that he was in with Quando Rondo in the middle of the street. But what a lot of people actually don't know is that when all of this was going down, the law enforcement were actually already there. The law enforcement cars were actually parked just down the street doing undercover work when the entire brawl between King Von and Quando Rondo broke out. Now, once this was all going down, the law enforcement actually used their protective items from down the street at the crowd to scare everyone away and kind of break up everything that was going on, which is why you see in the surveillance footage everybody running away in the security camera footage. It actually wasn't King Von's boys running away, leaving King Von by himself to, defend himself, but it was actually his boys taking cover behind cars and walls and things like that, so then they didn't get affected by what was going on by the law enforcement just down the street. As King Von's manager explained it, apparently the law enforcement from down the street were just not letting up for about 30 seconds straight. They were using their, protective items just blindly, and everyone got so scared and things like that, which is why you see in the surveillance footage everybody, kind of running away. And it's just a very, sad situation to begin with. And honestly, if the law enforcement weren't down the street, I do honestly believe this would have ended a complete different way. I mean, I don't think it would have been just a 30-second, surveillance footage. This would have been like a 4 to 7 minute surveillance footage of a lot of things going on in that middle of the street where King Von and Quando Rondo were at the time. But you guys did request for me to make a video about King Von's girlfriend and what she thought was the truth behind his passing. That is what I just did for you guys in this video today. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It has been District Trending, and I'm out, guys. See you later.